one takes a look around closely, and whether one takes a look around close up, it doesn't have to be too close up, him on which and whether him on and whether him, and whether reason there him on which and whether him, whether reason there him on which and whether him, and whether reason him on which and whether reason and whether him on which and whether him. The human is utterly casino shield some whether, and here is rhetorical expression, but leave out of the automatron factor children whether automatron existential or whether automatron Nazism, or whether Nazism entity is sponsor, whether automatron factor children whether this and whether existential, or whether automatron factor children casino shield, whether casino is, and whether casino reason there is full of dramatism and tons of gimmickry. Once a person starts, and whether, for example, whether, for instance, once a person starts a film and whether it's talk, in a way, this reply is already not reply. It's surrender, and whether compliance. And when someone replies to terrorists, it will be compliance to terrorism. Similar with the once one person. Pardon there, we need a F word there. Could we buy an F word reason there? Whether we need an F word reason there. We got, in this in ways, almost resembles some kind of parasitic, whether some insect word. And this one probably less balanced, accurate. And neither should the standard really shift, and whether the standard shifted, whether accommodate to Nazism. And for example, somebody Boogie's world, and whether the insect's world, there's at least queens. Right here, there's almost no queens. There's some foul models. If one checks on the foulness, it's really that we are sort of great in that we can believe and regard it as all right. It is not all right. It's being utterly freaky throughout. And whether reason thereof, whether freeze and whether freezes, and whether also statement and whether statements of, whether reason there freeze and whether freezes, and whether also statement and whether statements of. There's been considerable amount of Nazism. Suppose one check that the indecency out there is quite there. And another note of much of the journalism field somehow after liberalism policy, or whether during the last 50 calendar years, but right now at current, whether at the desk on current era, great generation is no longer around, and we got, and whether reason thereof, 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 and whether reason, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason there, and whether reason thereof, whether reason there, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason there, and whether reason of, and whether reason there, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason there, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason there, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason there, and whether reason, and whether reason thereof, and whether or, and whether or, and whether reason there, and whether reason thereof, and whether reason there, and whether reason there. We've got whether. Most of the journalism fields is almost the entire fields of this. I may take break whether and describe as whether there might be more of an opposite motion because of fact, whether because of the factor being whether there's the factor, whether because of whether there is partnership with the factor, whether because and whether there is this, and whether reason there, and whether also and whether there is this large amount of how the cultural communication links, which is sort of a subset of cultural links, has been contaminated, whether the contamination be to a culture level. Two of the more pro-line links are whether civil liberty, whether civil duties and social notions have been contaminated also. The probable for reason to which, or whether the probable of the reason the probable could be considered. That is quite extensive. Maybe one mention two notes of Olympics has been operating as a reason of whether hearing, or whether reason, and also whether hearing accountable as a bit of and whether hearing accountable, and whether accountable hearing, and whether accountable as a whether hearing accountable as a bit of whether another whether accountable hearing, or whether hearing accountable as a bit by the remark of. There's this giant, well, there's loopholes everywhere, whether lots of corruption throughout, and there's hunting ghosts around, whether there's hunters, and it can be quite probable. It's HAUNT, the word hunt, and then the hunt, whether the others hunt, and whether the others, and whether the others hunt, and whether the other hunts, and whether the other hunt. Hundreds of whether the reason they're instigating, whether cursing, us to magic something else, and after them some ruthless crime can of worms that spew around, whether they are plentiful by and amongst other dysfunction, dysfunctioning stuff. So back to the whether sort of whether reason and whether the Olympics serves and current here and whether herein there could be considered as probable a bit of a whether a minor remark of exercise was competition towards whether awards others, whether awards folks, whether awards candidates and audiences, whether awards others to whether award others, whether reason there, just whether reason there first, and whether reason there, and whether awards others towards betraying further. 20 years calendar to climb after, probably this really does become. In most of the journalist fields, it's almost entirely of a single strand. It's after there's been a filter. So therein, and almost a similar identical group, and whether in terms of the treatments, and whether certain foul treatments, whether that's on treatments, whether a reason there, whether DES, UN, whether dysfunction, or whether from the word, or whether dysfunction treatments, whether that's on treatments, or whether reason that that's, or whether reason there as, whether reason that that's on treatments, in terms of whether a identical strand and whether a category of reason there noted on which and whether noted of on whether reason there was and whether noted of on and whether noted and whether of which and whether of note whether of reason there of whether noted of and whether reason there and whether noted of which might instead of whether and whether of the probable to be countable as complete enough.